Hi, it's another beautiful day to have you join us. Welcome to Budget Podcast. My name is Nancy Odimego. Budget is Nigeria's foremost civic tech organization leading the advocacy for transparency and accountability in the country. Well, to delve into today's episode, we'll be discussing the Zonal Intervention Project. And I'm not alone. We have the head of Tracka, Elevaji Wadame, joining us. Nice to have you join us, Dame.
Thank you very much. My name is Elevaji Wadame. I'm the head of Tracka.
So how have you been? How are things?
Oh, we bless God for everything, and we're just trying to make a better Nigeria. We're public from the work for the good of the people.
Making a better Nigeria. Well, that's how to go into the conversation today. So let's talk about the Zonal Intervention Project. Give us an overview of what the project is really all about, the intent of the project, and what it is meant to address.
Okay, yes. In 1999, President Olusegun Obasanjo, the former president, he was the one that started the Zonal Intervention Project, popularly known as Constituency Project. The idea is to attract development to people at the grassroots. Okay. We have 469 lawmakers that represent the 36 states, including the FCT, which comprises of 109 senators and 360 House of Rep members. So there's always a provision for these funds for the Zonal Intervention Project, which is among the 360 House of Rep and the 109 senators. So the goal of this project is to attract development to local communities. So the work of the House of Rep member or the senator is to nominate projects for their constituents, right, so that they will facilitate this project. So they are not directly involved in terms of in terms of the people monies are being paid to. So all they just need to do is just to nominate projects that will better the life of the people of their constituents. So their own work is just to follow up to ensure that these projects are being implemented. So when it started in 1999, it was a very good idea then, but the funds, the allocations for Zonal Intervention Project then was very low. Like today now, for the past 6-7 years now, it has always been 100 billion constituency projects, that they allocate to this respective, these 469 lawmakers across the country, But now it's taking on that dimension now. So these are projects that have been, these are funds that is supposed to better the life of the people. But what we see today now is different from why this program was initiated, because we discovered now that a lot of these funds are being channeled to empowerment. So when we mean empowerment, almost about 65% of these funds are being allocated to empowerment. And when we mean empowerment, these are provisions that only meet immediate needs of the people, but it doesn't have a long-lasting solution to the lives of the people. Because if you look at the method of selection, is not too good. A lot of corruptions are around method of selection. You don't even know how they arrive at who are the beneficiaries of this program. And you see a lot of funds are being tied to programs. You see funds like 150 million naira allocation for people living with HIV. The question is, who are those people that are living with HIV? How did you come about that? Is that the problem of the constituents? Is that what they told you that they need in their community? So you don't allocate projects to people without even reaching out to the people, because in the budget process, the most important thing is what we call need assessment. You need to reach out to the people to ask them, what are the pressing needs? What are those things that you think you need in your community? So you don't just sit there in Abuja and you just look at this community and you say this is what best for them, what works best for them. See, Nigeria is a country where our lawmaker, they just look at you to say, okay, instead of them to take the size of your they want to make a shoe for you. Instead of them to take the size of your shoe, they look at, okay, this man, I think size 40 will be best for him, when you don't know that this person size 30 will be best for him. So there's no need assessment. There's a very big disconnect between the citizens and those that represent them. So that is why we are doing our work on Tracka, to see that we can bridge this disconnect between citizens and those that represent them. So our work on a daily basis is to go out to local communities to sensitize residents about the budgetary provision, because the goal of Tracka is to build a community where citizens can take ownership of public projects in their community. So we don't want them to see these things as my lawmaker that we appointed or that we elected is trying to do us a favor. No, we are making them to understand that these are budgetary provision and these are taxpayers funded projects. So they have every right to also ask questions, demand accountability for those that that represent them.
Okay, so before we get to how Tracka engages this representative and how they make sure citizens' participation is active, now let's talk about the realities of the Zonal Intervention Project itself. Would you say it has met the expectation, or would you say it's a whole massive failure?
So I will not say it has made the vision. It's a 70, 30 formula.
Okay.
In 30%, maybe it has met the expectation of the people in some local communities.
Yeah.
While the 70%, I don't think it has really made the expectation. See, as far as empowerment provision is taking a huge chunk of constituency project implementation in Nigeria, so I don't think there's any way that we will say today the goal has been achieved, because just look at last year. We had issues about COVID, that affected, ravaged the whole country. So it's a shame that when you look at the budget, you see that the provisions for health is very low.
Okay.
Rather, you see buying of keke nape, buying of motorcycle, buying of grinding machine, buying of hairdressing machine. And the question is, who are the beneficiaries? When you look at it, you discover that some of these empowerment provisions, they don't even share them. We have an instance in Enugu State where there's 117 million naira for the provision of empowerment items to the people of Enugu. I think it should be Enugu South, under the leadership of Senator Godfrey Otazi.
Okay.
There was a 170 million provision to supply empowerment to the people of that constituency, the senatorial district. So all these things ended up in the senator's house. Instead of him to distribute these things to people of his constituency, he decided to put those things inside his compound. Not until we intervened with ICPC that made him to distribute those things to people of his senatorial district.
So would you categorize this as one of the most common misnomers that you found?
Yes, one, because you see, when you engage lawmakers about constituency project, the question they will always tell you is to refer you to the agency.
Okay.
They'll tell you should reach out to the agency. You understand?
Yeah.
But the question is, we agree, reach out to the agency. But do you know that citizens, people at the local community, they don't know this agency. The only person they know is you that they nominated into that position. Because you are the one representing them. Yeah. So it's your duty to follow up, ensure implementation, do oversight on it. So now, I don't dispute that fact when they tell you reach out to the agency.
Okay.
I've implemented the project. But the question is, why during implementation of empowerment, the same lawmaker that is pushing you to the agency will be the one giving the key of the motorcycle to the beneficiaries? Why not the agency to do that? Why is it that the lawmaker that would decline to tell you that doesn't know anything about that project, he will be the one that will give the key of the motorcycle to the beneficiary? Why is it that the same lawmaker that has denied ownership on empowerment provision will still be the same person that you will see they will engrave their pictures on empowerment items as donation? So you see, when you look at all of this, you see that there's a very huge corruption around it. Okay, recently we have on that problem in Edo State where there was a 65 million naira in 2020 budget to construct drainage in Igara in Akoko local government, and it's this same 2021 again. There's also a 30 million naira again to take completion of that same project. So an active citizen in that community discovered that the contractor was not doing the right thing, and he did a video which went viral. Now the same lawmaker, now the people who are now engaging him is not shifting the blame on the contractor, that they should reach out to the contractor and the MD because this project has gone bad. But if this project would have been a project that would have won his interest to make him come back for the third time or the fourth time, I think he will take ownership. So if you look at constituency projects, like I rightly said, yeah, in a sort of way, I think 30% is okay, but in that 70% is not okay. As far as empowerment is taking the largest jump in constituency project implementation, I don't think it has really met its goal, because in 2019 I was opportunity to be last year in 2020 I was opportunity to train members of the House of Rep, that's the constituency project group committee. Yeah. So these are one of my findings. I told them that, why is it that you label constituency projects as donation? Are you telling me that you use your own, because the word donation means that you are using your own personal money to fund that project, but taxpayers funded project should not be labeled as donation? Are you telling me that you are using your own money to do it? They said no. But the question is, I said, can you also reduce the level of empowerment? They say no, they cannot reduce it to that. If they don't empower their people, somebody else will come and empower them and they will throw them out. So that's to tell you that empowerment will keep on taking the highest jump. Because when you talk about empowerment, you are talking about little things that will make people just believe. But I don't have a problem with that. But where our problem is, when you channel huge amount of money to advocacy training, what kind of training are you giving the people?
Now, speaking about empowerment project, I mean, this is the perfect time to bring this in. According to one of Tracka's report here, from 2016 to date, over 50% of the projects nominated by representatives are empowerment projects. Now, a good example cited in this report is the 63 billion naira and 59 billion naira that were allocated for empowerment provisions in 2020 and 2021 respectively. Now, you've been citing empowerment taking a huge chunk of the money. What is the real issue here with empowerment projects?
Just like I rightly said, you see, empowerment is just a means. To them, it's just a means of giving back to the society. Let me use for instance for you. In my own senatorial district.
Which senatorial district?
Edo State. Okay. Edo North Senatorial District.
Right.
I have a guy there in my community. Every year, they do empowerment. He gets a motorcycle from the senator and the House of Rep.
Him personally?
Yes, personally. And on the long run, after a month or two, he will sell those empowerment, he will sell those bikes out. Because he strongly believes that next year again, as an active member of that party, he will get it. So you see, empowerment is just like it's a form of means of giving back to the people.
Okay.
So when you build school, don't deprive me from going to the school because I don't belong to PDP, or you don't say, okay, when I build this center or I build this school is meant for only APC member or PDP
political
member.
Party.
So you see, when you do empowerment, I've asked the senator before. I called him on phone. No, he called our office here on phone. He was asking us. I said, sir, I agree that you want to empower people of Edo South Central District. Please, can you break it down to let me understand how you're going to do this empowerment? Who are the beneficiaries? He said the ward member, the party ward chairman will be the one to select beneficiaries. I said, okay. I said, who are those people that the party ward chairman will now select? So that question is too hard for him, that he doesn't have answer to that. So the question is either the party ward chairman selects APC member or PDP member in his constituency, and the rest might bring his family member to benefit.
So would you say this has been a threat to the
development? This has been a very big setback to development in Nigeria, because you don't measure impact when it comes to empowerment.
Okay.
When you say you are procuring 100 motorcycles, how do I know that you procured 100 motorcycles?
Okay.
How do I count it? It's even possible that day of the day they call it, they want to commission it or they want to distribute it. They might bring 100 motorcycles there. They might share only 50 and take 50 back and tell the supplier to come and take the remaining 50.
Okay. You
understand? Yeah. So, but when you say you are building 100 schools, you are building 100 boreholes in communities, I can go there and I can count it. I can verify it. I can evaluate it.
Yes.
You understand? But when you say you are buying 100 motorcycles, you are buying 100 keke nape, you are using 40 million naira to do grants. We have a recent issue in Ondo State. A honorable member said he's going to empower people of his constituency with 23 million naira. We agreed. The first time he said he did 200 million naira empowerment. Women were empowered. That he gave them 100,000 naira. Then the second empowerment he did again was under 100 again, where we discovered that they got 20,000 naira. As against the 100,000. No. The exact amount was not specified.
Okay.
But he just said grants to youth and women in his federal constituency. But you said the first 200 people you empowered, you gave them 100,000 naira. How do we verify it? But the other one that we'll be able to verify of 20,000 naira, he kicked to say, okay, the first one he did was 100,000 naira. So I think it's very, very wrong, because the best way to do empowerment, when you are giving out funds, you pay into bank account, so that when there's argument, you can print out your statement of account and say, okay, these are the beneficiaries, these are the people, even though there might still be corruption.
Yes.
Forget about you are giving people, you are paying, use electronic transfer to do it. There's still corruption, but at least there's a level of transparency to that level. But now, in Akwa Ibom, same thing again. They did empowerment. They gave them money on Brian Vedo. We could not ascertain the amount. This is a 50 million empowerment provision, giving grant to people. So you see, empowerment, there are a lot of corruption. Empowerment is the biggest conduit of corruption in constituency in Nigeria. I'm telling you the truth, because I get angry when I see huge amounts of funds having tied to empowerment. you want to do like areas where you have all these crises now. They'll tell you they want to do rehabilitation of citizen advocacy awareness, 75 million naira. The question is, what are they going to tell those people that did not have before?
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So empowerment, I don't think is the best way. And I've told them the last retreat they had.
When you say them, who are
the members of the lawmakers?
Okay.
I've told them before during one-on-one engagement and also in our report that I think it's hard time for them to reduce empowerment to 40-60%. Yes, because that's 60. Empowerment is almost 70%. Because if you also look at during our data mining, we have there are some projects that their locations are not specified, and empowerment are part of those projects. You understand? So we don't add those ones to the real percentage, the real figures that we've arrived on.
So what would you say can be done now regarding this issue? Because it looks as if you're serving the agenda of the National Assembly and probably you're not ready to move a spoon on it.
Citizen participation is very key. That's the most important thing. Citizen participation is very key because there's a very big disconnect between Nigerians and those that represent them. Because if you look today, so you ask some people, do you know your honorable member? I will say, I don't know him. So then when you don't know your honorable member, how do you hold him accountable? Okay. Somebody that you don't know. But you tell, like a lady called me, she said she had an issue in Ekiti that she wants me to help her. I said, what is the issue? She talked about electricity price. Okay. I said, do you know your honorable? Can you tell me your honorable? They say, I don't know my honorable. So where do we start from? How do you hold somebody accountable when you don't know the person?
Yeah.
So these are the issues. That's why we try as much as possible. Our yearly publication, we make sure that we put the 3 names of the senator, your House of Rep member, their phone number. We are not saying you should call them and insult them, but you should call them and engage them to tell them, and look, there's what we call need assessment. That is one of the biggest things that is lacking in our budget. When you look at the projects inside the budget, you will see that there's no need assessment. A community that needs road, you are giving solar street light. What will the solar street light do for them? And these are things that will not even last for 1 month to pack off. I'm telling you the truth. See, when you see, at times I look at it. Will I say government should stop consensus project? No. But in 2 ways. One is yes, the other one is no. Because in some areas, I think it's meeting the need, but in some areas it's not meeting the need.
Okay, so now let's look at one of Tracka's analysis here regarding 2021 Zonal Intervention Projects. Okay. Now, it found that over 1,112 projects were captured under agencies that do not have the expertise and capacity to execute them. An example that was cited is 250 million naira that was allocated to Nigerian Institute of Oceanography Marine Research in Lagos State for the construction and installation of all-in-one solar-powered streetlights in selected location in Uwe, in Delta State Senatorial District. Now, is this actually normal, or is this an anomaly?
Very, very abnormal. Let me tell you, it's on that problem again that I failed to talk about. You see, another problem. Let me tell you the secret behind this. You see, let me tell you the secret behind this. We are all Nigerians and we know how this thing works. You see, constitutionally, a lawmaker duty is to nominate a project.
Definitely.
A lawmaker duty is not to is not to implement project. They don't release funds to lawmakers. But let me tell you the secret behind it. You see, if you look at the 3 key agencies that gets the highest chunk of funds in the budget, is Ministry of Agriculture, SGF, and ND. So when you look at agriculture, SGF, and ND, you expect to see projects like buying fertilizer, giving grant to farmers. But when you look at the provision line items in these agencies, you see different things entirely.
Oh, so now that will be the outcome of this project?
Yes. Because just tell me now, School of Oceanography is a school that saddles with the issues of training people on fishery and marine stuff. Yeah. So what's their business with this? That one is even better. National Human Rights Commission, an agency that saddles about human rights abuse, is doing empowerment in Akwa Ibom for 100 million naira. So what do you say about that? So these agencies, you look at some of these key principal officers in the National Assembly, they are chairman committee in all these agencies. So it is very easy for them to cash out when they push their project to those agencies. So that is just the goal.
So by the time the project gets to these agencies,
they can influence things.
Oh, okay.
They will influence things, but they will tell you they are not responsible. but they can influence things.
So do they actualize the project or they leave it hanging?
They don't do it now because these are agencies where the PAM secretary or the minister or the commissioner there is their friend. Oh. If you like, you write the whole FY letter to them, they will not respond because they have an insider there. Look at the recent case in Edo State now that falls under Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. Till today now, the agency, can you imagine an agency is doing a press release for an honorable member? They are telling now the problem they had now is the Edo State government said the agency has released 300 million for that project, but what they released is for 5 million naira, and the budgeted amount was 5 million naira. Do you expect some agency to talk about 300 million naira, or they should pay more focus on the 45 million naira they released that does not meet up with what the money was being paid for? So now an agency went to the media to go and do a press release, a full page, defending a lawmaker, to tell you that the corruption in constituency project in Nigeria, the MDAs and the lawmakers, they are working in hand.
Now, would you say that these projects have met the needs of the community?
At all, nothing. No.
At all, nothing.
It's a no.
It's a no for you. But if you're speaking on citizens' participation now, how do you think citizens can participate in this project? How can they engage more with their representative?
I think with what Tracka is doing, presently today now we have a team of 37 tracking officers in 32 states, including the FCT.
Okay.
They go out on a daily basis with our budget pamphlets. They go to local communities to sensitize residents about the budget provision. Because like I said, the goal of Tracka is to avail citizen information, to give them information. That information is like for them to have a better understanding about what they need to demand from the government or from those that represent them. They should follow up and ask questions. When you get our publication, you see both back and front, you see rich information. You have access, the phone number of your constituency representative. Yeah. You can reach out and call him in a very polite way. Good afternoon, sir. I'm aware that there's a 10 million naira provision to build a block of 3 classrooms in my community. When are you going to start that project? If he has the intention that he will not do it, for you calling him alone, at least you will know that it's no longer a secret. A budget is supposed to be a public document. It's only this part of the world in Nigeria here where a budget is a secret document. You call some of them, they will tell you, how did you get the information? Who told you I nominated that project? Because they are always angry. So that is just
so if you were to propose the reform now, for the zonal intervention projects, what would it be?
Yes, if I want to propose the reform, first of all, they should cut empowerment provision in the budget down. Then lawmakers should not interfere in projects. They should not interfere with agencies. They should not romance agencies. They should be an enemy, an antagonist to agency. That is when we will see more development. Look at the issue in Edo State now. That's community I was talking about. Yes. Now, Edo State government has run to that community. They want to build the road and the drainage. Then the honorable is not saying again that he will order the contractor to go back to site. So now you see. So if they don't have a very good rapport, I don't think they should be any new. But that closeness of corruption should not be there. And also, projects should be allocated to agencies. Projects should be domiciled in agencies that have the capacity to supervise them. Now, a town hall project in Abia State, you allocated it to a health ministry, a town hall to a health ministry. We've tracked a project before in Ogun State, a town hall built by Universal Basic Education Commission. And upon completion, they put their label there. You beg there. Just imagine that. What concerns you beg with community town hall? So these are the issues. These are the issues we are facing in this country. So if all these things can be addressed, I think we will see a better Nigeria.
All right, thank you very much. I think that's a good way to leave it. We had Tracka, the head of Tracka rather, Wadame Elewaje. Thank you very much. We at Budget, we also want to know how your constituency project is, what it looks like in your community. You could send us a tweet, you could like and share pictures of it as well. On our Twitter page, it's Budget NG. On Instagram, it's Budget NG. And on Facebook, it's also Budget NG. My name is Nancy Odimego. Until next time, to join us again.